And a good Thursday early afternoon to you, Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. This VELCO Weather Hazards Outlook video is driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin Cities Subaru, 802 Honda, all located off of exit 7 on Interstate 89. Looking at the big picture currently right now, and you can see where snow is along the U.S.-Canadian border. And we've had a little bit of downwind lake effect snows here, a little healthier amounts. But generally, the storm track has been featured mainly across the northern tier regions. You get out west, and we've seen a series of pretty strong troughs going over a ridge of higher pressure located in the Aleutians and the Gulf of Alaska. And that is very anomalous, so it's really producing a trough of lower pressure along the west coast, and they're just getting inundated with very healthy rainfall, of course, seen here in California. A lot of that jet stream energy then goes over a top of a flat ridge and then comes at us. And the temperature is, we have anomalous temperatures a little bit off to the south of us, very warm conditions relative, and then colder temperatures off to the north. And the frontal boundary separating these two, the jet stream, is kind of flipping back and forth just a little bit, and that's what's causing a lot of our mixed precipitation types just ahead, especially over the holiday weekend. The good news is that we're not looking at as much gusty winds really associated out to the west of us, so no high wind parameters to worry about. The last one has just now moved on out with this area of low pressure over toward Labrador. And so let's take a look at the latest computer modeling. For the electric utilities, the good news is that we're not going to see any parameters being met at threshold or above. That would include wind parameters as well as any kind of icing, wet snow loading, or snowfall. So it's all looking good. However, travel will definitely be affected. Primarily, we're talking overnight Friday night into the morning hours on Saturday, and then continuing, it looks like, on Saturday night into most of the day on Sunday, where we're going to have combinations of mixed precipitation, a wintry mix, and even some light icing, as well as some snow that's going to fall. And we're probably going to see overall a little bit of a gain of snow. This is our weak area of higher pressure that's in control, bringing us a pretty decent rest of today. In fact, you could even call this the pick of the week. Now, a lot of sunshine before a weather system really is going to be shooting off a little bit more to the south. It does cover the southern four counties, and then it exits out of the region during the overnight period into tomorrow morning. This is valid into the day on Friday, so we'll see another shot of partly to mostly sunny skies, it looks like, during the afternoon hours on Friday. So both afternoons looking pretty good, a little more dicier in the morning, especially in southern areas where they will see a little bit of a coating of snow, not much. And then here comes our next weather system. It is a bear to forecast. First of all, colder air to the north, warmer air to the south. We have that Neapolitan ice cream setup here where we have rain and then freezing rain, sleet, and into snow. So tracking that, this is valid at about 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, Christmas morning. We can see that that makes a little bit into Vermont, but it's kind of fallen apart. A lot of this part of this weather system here is going to come in sort of piecemeal. And you notice the main area is back over toward Pennsylvania. It's falling as all as rain, and that's going to work on in with freezing rain. That's going to happen during the nighttime, late part of the day on Saturday into the night. It's going to affect travel. It will not affect us in any way for the utilities, but with something we'll have to keep a close eye on just in case. And it changes over to snow. We get a kind of a burst of snow during the overnight period there, late Saturday night, Sunday morning. And then it begins to taper off, pull away at much lighter amounts. So we will probably get somewhere around 1 to 3 inches of total snowfall. So probably a net snowfall gain, but a lot of shellacking, unfortunately, with some icing. But again, not reaching thresholds for utility concerns at this point in time. Now, high pressure will build in briefly as we get into Sunday night and Monday morning. And then here comes our next system. This is going to be developing and affect us over the, looks like, late part of the afternoon, with mostly primarily snow showers and snow. This is going to also gain, and then we're moving beyond the period here as it lingers into the day on Tuesday. Looks like that'll be followed by another area of higher pressure, 1032 hectopascal. Will probably ridge down and bring us a pretty decent day on Wednesday of next week. That's our next really good project weather day. That's the way it's setting up. And then beyond that, this is the one that looks like it's going to start out as freezing rain and then change over to rain, as we have a big push and very strong area of low pressure and a pretty good push out of the southwest, and so alternating jet streams. But this is beyond the period. Okay, looking at some of the parameters, we don't have the GFS ensemble anymore, so what we're going to do here is we're going to look at quite a few American models here. This is the dots basically show where we are currently and how we compare with the temperature forecast. And these are several different models. You can see the various ones here. So not a whole lot to report here. Eventually we're going to edge up on Sunday. We get into this sort of mixed business, and this is the problem. It's going to be well below the freezing mark, and we do top out close to about 32 or so once we get into Sunday, according to some of the American modeling. And the European model has a tendency to agree with that. Looking at the 1 through 7 day total QPF from the Weather Prediction Center, you can see it's all front-loaded basically in the west. A lot less in the east, a little bit in the Ohio River Valley, but we're talking a ½ inch here. That's a ¼ of an inch, and that's just a 100th of an inch. So not a lot in the way of precipitation over the next 7 days, and that's keeping those parameters below any kind of thresholds for utilities. Thank you very much. Okay, looking at temperatures right now, what you can see is there's a lot of cold air up in some parts of the Arctic, others pretty warm. We do have a little bit of high latitude blocking over Greenland, and this is kind of forcing a trough to dig down, and that could be the future and actually colder conditions once we get into the first week of January. But you can see where the cold air is located out mainly in Alaska, and that's been the case. There's a big ridge of higher pressure out in the Aleutian Islands here, the Gulf of Alaska, and it's forcing a lot of the storm track to come through here, bring very cold air down into a good portion of the western United States with very active conditions. That gets pushed east, and generally we warm up under those kind of conditions. But once in a while, a sort of the northern branch of the jet stream will cut across Canada and deliver some colder air, kind of like that. So cold out west, warmer in the east, is warm as 24 degrees above normal, according to the next 5-day meteorological output statistics. And about 3 days later, it looks like this. And you can see there's a pretty significant outbreak of Arctic air here, 39 degrees Fahrenheit below normal, very significant in parts of Alberta, Saskatchewan. And Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights, thanks for watching.